What's going on, gentlemen? Zach Allred here, back with another video. This one's going to be, leadership advice. It's going to be a little bit of life advice. I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to keep it interesting. Filming just with my phone and a selfie stick and microphone. Hopefully this microphone does not shit the bed like my video at the range where it was just not having a good time. Anyways, I digress. We're going to launch right into it. So what I want to talk about today is the concept of self-honesty and why you need to be brutally self-honest as a leader. So I would define self-honesty as the ability to recognize your own shortcomings, your own pitfalls, weak points, failures, as well as, what you're good at and what you truly want out of life. And this is important because as a leader, you have other people depending on you and your ability to correctly analyze information and make timely decisions based on that information that's available to you. And how this all ties together is if you are not able to be honest with yourself, it's going to be 10 times harder to be honest to anyone else, whether that's, subordinates or whether that's in a relationship or any kind of situation where you need to stand up for what you believe is the truth and what you want. So when you aren't able to be brutally honest to others, it's very easy to fall into the trap of letting people around you decide what they want your future to be. So if you're not able, in one, you have to have a clear idea of what you want, right? And two, you have to be able to impose that will onto the world itself. You have to be able to come out and say, this is what I want and I'm going to work towards it no matter what, and stand by that point and not get swayed by what other people might think. Whether that's family, whether that's friends, coworkers, whatever. If you're not able to be honest with what you want, you can't be honest with them, and you're going to get put in a position where other people are going to influence your life and your decisions in making you choose a life that you don't want to have. So, it's a hard thing to do, and I've fallen in the trap in the past myself of, not being honest with people about what I want out of life and kind of just going with the flow, going with what felt good at the time, and not really being super confident in my ability to stand up and express what I want. So that's kind of the inspiration for this video. This kind of came to me out of the blue. And it's something that I recognize that, I need to work on, and that probably, other guys out there need to hear as well. So we'll talk really quick about, positive influence and negative influence here. So when we're talking about what people want for you, there's a lot of people out there with really good intentions, and they really do want what's best for you. However, you have to, take it with a grain of salt. You need to look at their life and say, hey, this person is, we'll use the example of college, for example, college. So like, hey, this person's telling me to go to college. My family's telling me to go to college because they believe that's the best way for me to get a job. And your parents generally probably want what's best for you. But you recognize that, hey, this isn't necessarily for me. I recognize that college is largely a scam industry, barring a few specific professions that actually need the textbook schooling. And I recognize that, hey, I want to do something different, and I'm not going to let these people decide what they want my life to be. But if it's, life advice such as, hey, you're a fucking fat piece of shit, you should probably start running and lifting weights, and you are a fat piece of shit, part of self-honesty is recognizing, hey, yes, I need to get in shape. And in that case, that would be a positive influence. But once you get past the basic, life advice, self-improvement shit, like, oh, you go to the gym, make money. Once you get past that, it's now a matter of developing that further and starting out on your own mission, your own holy mission, your own holy war. And if you're not able to be honest with what you want, you're not going to be able to be honest to these people about what you're trying to pursue. So self-honesty is hard because your ego is running, at all times, and it's running like a motherfucker. Like it's going to tell you, oh, you're already good. Like, you're good, just take a break. Like, you already did enough work. And you might be able to equate your ego to like the inner bitch, if you will, or the Well, yeah, we'll just use that term. Your inner bitch, and it's hard to shut that guy up. It's hard to shut him up because it's like, oh, we've done enough today. We've done enough outreach. We've done enough freaking work on our project or whatever. But you know that you need to start doing more. You have to shut that bitch up, and it's difficult to do. So how I'd recommend, a technique that I've used and that a lot of people use and we'll talk about to kind of clear your mind and to get insight. There's a lot of different methods, if you will. So, anything very physically demanding is going to work. You have to take yourself physically to a place where you mentally shut that voice up in your head. You have to exhaust yourself to the point where that inner monologue just, takes a little bit of time off. And what happens when you do this is that you'll start getting, a lot of people will call them downloads from the universe or, just insights. And what that is so your subconscious is a supercomputer. It's running calculations at the freaking speed of light. It's running your entire body for you. And you're only able to consciously focus on a couple of things at a time. And then your subconscious is doing the rest of the work. So think of your subconscious as like a supercomputer, and whatever you feed it, whatever thoughts, whatever, music you listen to, whatever media you consume, that's all going into the supercomputer, and it's at the base level and very subtly, it's going to affect your choices and your behavior and your actions in the outside world. Read the book Psycho-Cybernetics. I don't know the author off the top of my head, but I'll probably link it down below. But read that book if you want to learn more about the power of the subconscious mind. So you need to get to a place mentally where you're able to receive these messages from your subconscious. They might come to you, a lot of the times, at random moments during the day, and you'll often find that they happen during periods where you're not, super in the weeds on something or super, deep thinking. Like you can't just think up deep thoughts. It's kind of hard to do. It's kind of opposite where these insights, if you've ever been like in the shower, right, and you've had a shower thought, it's because you're sitting there and you're not probably doing much else except for washing yourself and standing in the water, right? So there's a couple ways to force this. So, hard workouts, running, cardio, sauna is great. Cold plunges, cold showers, post the cold shower is when you're going to get these insights potentially. Psychedelics as well, although I wouldn't recommend those for most people just because a lot of people misuse them and they turn into a party drug, and that's not what we want. So don't use psychedelics unless you know what you're doing and have someone in your life to do it. But even then, I don't encourage you to do anything illegal. So we'll leave it at that. But what getting these insights and all this, what that shares in common with psychedelics is once you receive this information, these insights about, something that you need to change in your life or a direction that you should be taking your life, is the integration and the implementation of these downloads. We'll keep calling them that, from the universe. Like it's one thing to get them and then not take any action on it. So what you need to do is, if you're trying to force yourself to kind of receive these kind of insights, after your workout or your sauna or your breath work or your cold plunge or cold shower, when you do get these thoughts out of the blue, you need to record them, number one. So write them down, ideally on pen and paper, have a journal, and then, or, on your notes app in your phone. And then number two is you need to develop an action plan to actually implement this shit in your life. So we'll use the example of, let's say you realize you need to start waking up earlier. Let's say you wake up 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning on a consistent basis, or on the weekends, or you want to wake up earlier than you are. Let's say I'm waking up at 8 o'clock, but I want to start waking up at maybe 5:30 or 6. I wouldn't immediately start trying to wake up at 5. I would ease into it. I would take an actionable step towards it to make it sustainable, right? So I would wake up an hour earlier. So instead of waking up at 8, I'm waking up at 7. And that's a lot easier of a target to hit off the bat than waking up at 5. And what that do is going to stack a win. It's going to prove to yourself that you can do this. It's going to make it doable for you. It's the same way as like a workout, progressive overload. Like you're going to slowly add weights. You're not going to jump right in trying to hit a 2-plate bench your freaking first week in the gym. You're going to build up to it. And it's the same way. You're going to build up to a positive goal. over time, and that's going to make it stick better than, okay, I did it 3 days in a row, and then your brain's gonna be like, oh, we did it 3 days in a row. Let's wake up at, let's keep waking up at 8, keep waking up at 9. And this way, you can actually, if you get multiple insights about, a direction you need your life to take, it's like, I need to work on a business and I need to wake up earlier. You can stack those now a little bit better if you're doing the incremental approach. So you're waking up earlier and say, my goal is to do, 10 outreach emails to potential clients. Or let's say I need to be doing 100. Let's say I want to hit 100 outreach messages a day, whether that's DM, Instagram, whatever. So you wake up an hour earlier, and let's say you send 20 DMs that day. And then you do that for a week, and then you build up to where it's like, okay, now I'm doing 30, and now I'm doing 40, now I'm doing 50, and I'm waking up at freaking 6 a.m. like I wanted to. And you'll find that even that being more consistent with even the smaller changes is going to produce a lot larger overall systematic change in your life versus trying to just do it all the hard shit all at once. Even in the Army, like they call it crawl, walk, run for a reason. Like you learn the basics, and then you add a little bit more onto the basics, and you do them a little bit faster. You do them, maybe live fire, and then the run is like, okay, now it's a full dress rehearsal. I'm wearing everything. Like you don't learn how to shoot a rifle in full kit and helmet at night. Like you start learning dry fire. Like it's the same kind of thing, and that's how you do everything in life. So this kind of went off the topic of a little bit of self-honesty, but just wanted to kind of make this video about that. And this process too of kind of inspiring insight through hardship, physical hardship, also helps with creativity. So if you're a creative guy and you're having trouble coming up with content or with freaking writing topics or art ideas, whatever the hell you do creatively, kind of putting your conscious brain on pause to let your subconscious come through is a good way to come up with new insights, new ideas, other ways that aren't as physically demanding and a little bit easier and more accessible. Just go for a walk without your phone, without headphones, without music. Just go for a walk, hour, maybe 30 minutes an hour, and you'll be surprised at what you're able to come up with during that time. That's it for today. We'll see you all this Friday with part 1 of the RAID video, the RAID instructional class, if you want to call it that. And hope to see you all there. Hopefully this video is helpful for you. Go check out Psycho-Cybernetics down below. I'm going to link the Amazon link. Great read. And it really delves into how powerful your subconscious mind is without a whole lot of this mumbo, like crazy, maybe woo-woo stuff. Just straight, actionable steps and scientific proof of how your brain actually works. So go check it out. Lastly, I am now offering one-on-one coaching calls or, advice calls, whatever you want to call it. I realize that, maybe the comment section or, Instagram DMs isn't the best way to get in touch with me. I try and do my best to respond to everything. However, if you want to talk to me one-on-one for whatever you want to talk about, whether it's, joining the Army. I just had a call today with a guy. He's trying to decide between going SEALs or going Ranger. And he kind of wanted to learn and get a little bit more information than what I already have out there on that subject matter. So he booked a call. We talked for a little bit, and hopefully I was able to help him out. And so, yeah, that's an option. The Calendly link is also in the description below. It's not free. I'm going to say that right now. Like, you will pay for my time because I am relatively busy, but I will make time if you pay for it. But if you can't for whatever reason, or if you have, just regular questions, Instagram DM, I'll get to it eventually, or the comments below. But that's it, and I will see you all on Friday.